This Saturday, November 15th, the Apollo will bring the magic of amateur night to American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with open auditions for its annual Amateur Night Holiday Special presented by Coca-Cola, a festive iteration of the quintessential talent competition that has already launched so many wonderful careers since 1934. We'll talk about some of those careers in this interview. And joining us today is the executive producer for the Apollo, Kamilah Forbes. Great to see you again, Kamilah.
Great to see you again. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Kamilah is an award-winning director and producer and graduate of Howard University and has been thrilled to be working at the Apollo since 2016. It's already quite a run for you, Kamilah.
It has been quite a run. It's been an exciting run. It's been an exciting time to be at the Apollo. I mean, I've like you said, I've been there almost 9 years. But this is a 92-year institution. But it's exciting at this point because we've really done some amazing expansion and transformation during those 9 years. Like expansion, physical expansion into the Victoria Theater, and then also transformation as we really step wholeheartedly as a performing and presenting arts institution in Harlem.
Before we talk about this wonderful opportunity for people, the Apollo's Historic Theater is under renovation until 2026. How has that been going and what has changed?
Yeah. So how it's been going as we've been in several phases. The first phase, it was opening the Victoria Theater. So right next to the Apollo Theater was a historic theater that was built right around the same time the original Apollo was built, which is over a century ago, called the Victoria. So we expanded and have two new theaters in that space as well as our offices. The second part, and so we opened that about a year and a half ago. And the second part of our expansion has been the historic theater renovation, which we've just broken ground this past summer, and will be shut down a little over a year before we reopen to the public. And that expansion is going to include, expanding the lobby space, new bathrooms, new seating, new HVAC, new lighting, sound, audio, visual to really enhance the audience experience, and also the artist experience and the creative experience in our spaces. So it's a well needed and well waited on, I will say.
But we're still going to feel the presence of the likes of Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, Dionne Warwick, Michael Jackson and the Jackson Five, Luther Vandross, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Lauryn Hill, D'Angelo, who we just lost recently, and so
Yeah,
many others, including her. So, I mean, current artists,
absolutely.
as well.
Yeah.
We're still going to feel them as we go into these theaters, right?
100%. I mean, that's the magic of the space. The magic of the space is the legacy and the shoulders that every single artist and audience member stands on. So, we've taken painstaking like, detail and to make sure that many of the historic details remain of the theater. They're just shined up a bit. Because as we think about the theater, we like to stay in three places at once, right? We're informed by our past, living in our present, but always looking forward to the future. And that's something that will remain true even amongst the new renovation.
What I've found out through the years talking to graduates of Howard University, history and culture are so immense and so important to Howard University graduates. And I'm sure working at this wonderful theater, you have felt it throughout this 9 year run that you've had.
You know what? I'm so glad you mentioned that because I feel like that's where me personally, that grounding of history and how important that is to the work that we do today was really fostered and cultivated is at Howard, right? Like to walk on campus and know that you're walking in the footsteps of folks like, Donny Hathaway or Toni Morrison, really puts things into perspective, puts your own place into perspective, puts your own, where am I in this lineage that is really not just about me in this moment, but I am part of a continuum. And I just have the baton for this period of time. So what am I going to do with it? And also who am I passing it to? And that fits right into, I think, in the way and the methodology that we think about the Apollo, is that, where we are here in this moment of time, thinking about our past, but always keeping our eye to the future. and that the work that we do is about possibility. It's about opportunity. AmateurNet fits right into that, because it is about like making sure that we give a platform for possibility, for the artists and the voices of our future that we'll be talking about 60 years from now, right?
Yeah, possibility is that's a key word because you're giving them opportunity and possibility of being the next star. All those artists that I mentioned, their careers were either launched or helped by their appearances at the Apollo. So tell us about this exciting event on Saturday. How will it
That's
work?
right. That's right. So this is one of our open auditions, and we've held many open auditions before. This is an open audition under which folks can come and sign up and audition for the producers of Amateur Night. And it will be happening at the American Dream Mall. Thank you to one of our longtime sponsors, Coke, for making that happen and also making that connection happen and supporting this event. But again, it's an opportunity so you are able to bring your song, your choreography, your comedy, or whatever the talent is that you have in order to audition. And in regards to these auditions, you're auditioning for an opportunity to perform on our main stage, to be a part of Apollo legacy and history, and potentially an upcoming program during our holiday season. So there will be many eyes on, but many supportive voices as well on you as artists.
I think about the interview that Daybreak host Gary Walker had with Gregory Porter when he was auditioning for a Broadway show,
Oh,
and
wow.
and Gregory did basically a hymn, right? And
Mm,
they said, "Well, where's that from?" And Gregory said, "I made it up." And they said, "You're in." and, and he's and
amazing.
he's gone on to be one of the greatest jazz singers that we're experiencing now. What kind of repertoire should people be thinking about if they're going to audition?
Yeah. Well, I always say, think about what best shows off who you are. That could be an original song. Uh, that could be a recorded. It could be something that lives in the pantheon of work. But I think what's most important is that the best of you shines through. So as you're telling that story with Gregory Porter, I think about, right, like that, that it was an original hymn. Like I didn't expect you to say that, right? That he wrote it, but of course he did, right? Because that's who Gregory Porter is. Like not only amazing vocalist, but songwriter as well, right? So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
That's
What best shows you off?
Yeah, that's great advice. So give us the logistics now. When can people show up? How will that
Yep.
work?
So Doug, yeah, the best way is for folks to please visit apollotheater.org, and look for the American Dream drop down, the details for the American Dream auditions, and you can input your information, and all the information will be right there for you.
Do you have a recent story of someone who has appeared at Amateur Night and you've been following their career since?
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a recent story, even very recent. Our most recent winner of Amateur Night, the adult section, was a saxophone player by the name of Emmanuel. What was so exciting is, we don't get a lot of musicians that win immediately, but he was one of them, right? And we get a lot of vocalists, etc. But as a musician, I mean, he played so beautifully. The night he won, he shared with us that in 2 weeks he was going to be getting married. So his winning prize, of the $20,000 really was going towards not only his wedding, honeymoon, and nest egg. Um, but one of the other pieces, thank you to Coke, we were able to do an offer for him was an experience to go out to LA to the Coke studios. And later on that we went out to Coke Studios. We were able to fly him and his new wife out to Coke Studios, and he was able to record a single. that went forth on his new EP. So when I think about like what Amateur Night was able to offer him, yes, sure is the visibility for the audiences, Apollo audiences in New York, in Harlem. Yes, he won a cash prize, but also really got, real foundational pieces to launch his own recording career. And now I follow him online and I see that signal and I see other work that he's now recording that's definitely being circulated everywhere. So it's exciting. It's exciting to watch the beginnings of where people are, their launch pads, right? And that's an artist that we're really looking forward to hearing from in the future.
And if you think about it, and I know you have, some of the most popular television shows out there right now are basically a reiteration of the Apollo, the amateur night at the Apollo.
Completely. Completely. And we've had folks like Wei Ani, who was another winner of Amateur Night at the Apollo when she was 15. She's gone on to be a finalist on The Voice and a finalist on American Idol. And so again, like, but again, it with Amateur Night. Literally started with her, but then when I look at those competition shows, you see there's a lot of inspiration that is taken from our Amateur Night show.
And you realize the forward thinking that the Apollo had with having these amateur nights way back when. Now I know there's different age groups too. Can you talk about that real quickly?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have our youth, our child stars of tomorrow, and so those are young people that are under the age of 15 and who can compete in the live show, and then our adult stars, of course. So the age group is really about in the live amateur night competition, the young people cannot be booed. You're voting, but you cannot boo. And so, we want to make sure that all our young voices are encouraged and cultivated. And so, yeah, so that's one of the big differentiating differences. And also, you're competing amongst your own age group, right? And then adults compete with adults.
It's instant feedback when you say, for the adults, if they can get their,
Always
it's
instant. Absolutely.
you can't ask for anything better than that because
That's right.
and you can't fool the audience at the
You
Apollo
cannot.
either.
You cannot. That you cannot.
So last question for you, and I like to ask these kind of questions. So right before the renovation is complete, they say to Kamilah Forbes, they say, Kamilah, we want you to go out on stage under the spotlight and sing a song. What song would that be and why?
Ah, first of all, I really hope no one wants me to sing any song. Let me just put that out there first.
We
But,
won't boo. We won't boo. So
but if I'm going out to sing any song, I think there's something about I would sing New York, New York. And I think about maybe it's a mashup with Frank Sinatra and Alicia Keys and Jay-Z. I think I would want to do some kind of a melody that honors not only one of the greatest cities in the world, but also honors this notion of past and present colliding. And I think a mashup between those two could be really exciting.
I also did want to ask you, there are going to be some performances at American Dream as well, right?
Absolutely. We're curating several performances that'll be happening on the stages at American Dream that'll feature some of the best and the brightest that have come through our music cafe stages as well as our main stages, our amateur night stages. So it's going to be quite an exciting, I think, day. Not only the auditions, but some really top tier talent performances.
No doubt about it. This Saturday, November 15th, the Apollo bringing the
Absolutely.
amateur night to American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with open auditions for its annual Amateur Night Holiday Special presented by Coca-Cola. By the way, that special will be taking place on December 19th and 20th, and that will be at the Apollo stages at the Victoria Theater. Kamilah Forbes, it's always indeed a pleasure to talk to you. Continued
Thank you,
success,
Doug.
and you can sing for us anytime.
Oh, and it's definitely not on WGBO. No, ever. But it's such a pleasure always. I'm such a big fan, so thank you for having me.